Welcome to Blonde After Dark. Yes!
Whoop, whoop.
We're so pumped. Our premiere episode. It's here. How do you
Finally.
feel?
Felt like it was never going to come, actually, but
it's here.
Well,
I never thought I'd be popping this off pregnant, but here I am.
you're pregnant?
I am, yes.
Can't even
Can't you tell
tell.
by these?
Well, the double D's, yes. But the stomach, no.
3 months away from having a baby. This is wild. But we're kicking it off anyway because that's what we do. Big blonde energy.
Keep you going no matter what.
Yes. Okay, so we have an awesome sponsor. I am so excited because there's nothing sexier than a big heart, someone who cares about the community. And I know you've done a little work with them, so this is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization and their
What?
chapters. What? All right, so they actually are incredible and they're looking for male mentors specifically. So we want to put that out there for everybody. It only takes an hour of your time and a lifetime of positive changes. So hit up bbbs.org.
Super way to give back to the community for sure.
Absolutely. bbbs.org. That's the hot spot. And you can volunteer today. So make a difference. Do something good with your life, okay? Do something.
It's just 1 hour, so
Yes.
1 hour a week. It's fine.
Yes, kind of like this podcast. All right, so Blonde After Dark. What are we? We talk about everything: lifestyle, fitness, fetishes,
A lot.
anything taboo, anything really goes. So I was like, okay, I'm popping this off. I have to take my best friend, my brother from another mother,
What up?
Bestie Craig, in the house because nothing is off limits.
And we share pretty much everything.
We do. And it's really weird because our lives really parallel one another. Like we go through the same things.
Over and over
He feels
again.
my pregnancy like symptoms. He has cravings like I do at this moment.
Yeah, she's physically pregnant. I'm emotionally pregnant. So,
But like relationship wise, I feel like we're always very in sync.
We are.
We're like in love at the same time. There was a time we went through toxic relationships at the same time, which I want to talk about because I have a theory. All right, hear me out. So I feel like when you're like in the midst of a toxic relationship, you almost become addicted to the ride because you're like the highs and the lows and the crash and the adrenaline. And then when you get into a really healthy relationship, it almost seems a little boring.
well, yeah.
At first.
Absolutely. When you're in a toxic relationship, it's almost like you're trying to reach that mountain, the climb of it.
Yeah.
And you can never do it because they're always putting one up on you and you're trying to reach to the next ladder, but you just can never grab it. So
And
you're
it's a
always
game.
wanting to do it.
It's a game. And then you
For
get to
sure.
a healthy relationship and you're like, it's healthy and peaceful.
And easy. And that's the problem. It's
and you
easy.
think something is wrong with it. So it's almost like it jacks us up, right?
Question everything.
All right. So let's talk about some past toxic relationships. What are some signs for like people that are watching right now or listening right now to know if they're in a toxic relationship? Because it's like you talk to your friends, you're like, girl, get out. He's a dog. But like when you're in one, you don't really see it clear.
I feel like it's like a scary movie almost. Like
Yeah.
you're running towards the person that's about to kill you, but you still want to run that direction no matter
Yes.
what. You see, and you have everyone in the audience is screaming like, don't go through the door.
Yeah.
But you like hold the key and you actually physically open it and walk in.
Yeah.
So it's a nonstop thing for that.
Okay, so like we won't name anybody yet. Okay, so one of your relationships though, like the dude was trying to like charge Craig for services or for like laundry or borrowing things. Like literally he's invoicing
Literally.
you.
Yeah, he literally was well, first off, if you remember correctly, he said he was a professional hairstylist and he learned who McKinzie was and decided, ooh, I'm going to be her personal hairstylist assistant. And it was definitely not a blowout at the end of that for sure, because do you remember that night? Oh,
I
goodness.
do remember that night.
Bless. He used like a full can of Suave hairspray on you.
Okay, there was lots of things that went down with this relationship. Okay, but let's talk about, so when you're in a toxic relationship, but then you break up, right? Here's a big question. To block or not block? What's the move? Because you don't want to seem petty, but you don't want to be seeing their stuff all over social media. So do you block or do you not?
I think it depends
What's the
on
move?
your thoughts. Because some people say when you block the person, it's because you still have feelings for the person.
Because like you can't bear to see
Yeah,
their
you can't
pictures
see
or
who they're
whatever.
with next.
Yeah.
But then you're like, also another person's like, I blocked them because I just want them out of my life, basically, which was mine because my bank account got a lot better once that person left because I didn't have to pay for a haircut or a rental fee in my own house. But, you know,
Right.
so
yeah.
I think it depends on the scenario. It also depends on the person. Did I block? Yeah, I blocked.
You blocked.
I blocked.
Would you ever unblock or is it like block for life?
No, I'd probably just keep it blocked.
Okay.
Because the toxic that he still is.
Yeah.
It's not worth my time seeing it pop up on my feed.
You know what I think is a bold move? Like, I still have exes that watch my stories and they're
same.
like, but they're boldly them. They're not, there's no Finsta action happening. Like, they're actually, and I'm like, that's a pretty bold move. They're like, I am watching you and here I am, rather than getting a fake account.
Well, mine actually still watch pictures of you and I on yours because I blocked them.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's almost like they also look for other friends of the person so they can see what they're doing, which is sad.
I know, they're keeping tabs. But some people like to brag. Like, if they're doing really well in life, they want to showcase what they got going on. So they want their exes to like see.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, yes. Do you think you always have to be the bigger person and you always have to wish them well on their life? Or do you think sometimes it's just like, no, like, you suck? Go.
Oh, no, you don't have to always be the bigger person. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, you can be petty. It's totally fine.
A little bit petty.
Oh, no.
Do you tear their pictures down from social media? That's another question.
It depends. If it's just a picture of me and that person, they're gone. Out.
Okay.
But if it's a picture of me, that person, other people, then I keep them up.
You don't like X out their face and edit.
Well, they might get a blur vision or something,
Right,
but
exactly.
because there's so many more people in the picture, I'm like, oh, this was a nice life and you're not involved in it anymore. So sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your luck. All right, so we have to talk. So Craig, this is hilarious. So my background a little bit, I basically was in a relationship since the age of 11. And then I got married straight out of college, very like Midwestern like lifestyle, right?
Bless her heart.
When I re-entered the dating world, it was a whole new scary world for me. And I was like, and so we started talking about penises. And I'm like, of course I go to my best friend Craig. And I'm like, Craig, like,
because I have so much experience with them.
Like, I don't know what I'm like, I haven't seen that many. Like, I was just being very honest. And he's like, girl, I've seen 5,000. So we started
She's
talking.
Lying. It's 4,999.
Okay. But we have to talk about some of the experiences, because what I love about Craigers is that he sends pictures sometimes, not of his current beau who is in this room over here.
It's very true.
I have not seen that. Don't worry, I love you. But no, some exes. And, we all got to see like some close friends circle. So let's talk about it. Okay. So, because I was like, when you were sending these pictures, we were all like examining them. And then it was interesting because when I was dating, it was like, I felt like the Goldilocks of penises. Because I was like, oh my God, Pringles can, that's way too big. And then I was like, that is way too small. And then you find one that's just right.
Oh, yeah. The size does matter.
Yes.
But some people definitely extravagant a little bit on their pictures and stuff like that for sure. Like,
can we talk about sneakers?
Oh God.
Oh my! So
I think he still lives in here somewhere.
Craig dated a dude who did he send the pictures to you or did you?
No, of course he sent photos because that's how gay people say hello.
Hi. Hi.
But no, I did not get them. Actually, one of our other past friends actually found them on the internet. Do you remember that one?
The sneakers pic
yes,
was sent?
Sneaker print it was on the internet. So they found them on dirty Twitter.
Okay. So let's elaborate since we can't really show the picture.
No,
it was basically.
It was too small to see anyway, so don't worry about it.
He was like, I can't even, it doesn't touch my molars. But it was like a picture of this dude with socks on and his sneakers.
It was very awkward. It was
Micro.
like coming home for lunch was like the caption for it.
Okay, so that was bad. But then on the other hand, you dated a guy who was literally insane. Let's talk.
Which one are we talking about on this one?
His nickname is Georgia.
He did. He got a state named after him.
He did. So this dude was large and in charge.
Very.
But how do you I don't know. How big is too big? Seriously. I mean, it is such a thing. I know women are always like, oh no. But no, all women do not want to walk funny for days.
Well, yeah, I agree. It depends on how you sit on the thing too.
But we agree that it can be too big.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. No, that one was too much. I was like, don't touch me.
Okay, so size does matter then in your opinion.
Yeah, because it's going to hurt.
Is it different for sex drives? Because of I was, obviously, well, women are super horny, but males I feel like are obviously all the time ready. So with two men, literally. Is it just game on every day or what's the scoop?
If you talk to my spouse, yes.
Yeah.
From 8 a.m. all the way till 12 a.m.
I love it.
It just depends on the vibe, the feeling, and what's on TV at that point in time. So
what you guys are doing. I love it. I feel like, speaking of, do you want to bring him on?
yeah, he's in the audience.
He's in the audience. Sean, you want to come up? Woo!
Come join.
Sean, and we promise we haven't seen any pictures of you yet.
We will air them later.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to bring him on in a second, and we're going to play a little game called Ship or Dip. We're going to talk Disney characters, and this will be fun with him. It's perfect because he's a prince.
Bring the magic.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, now we have this handsome face. Bring it for, I guess, Boo Bear Sean? What do you want to call Sean?
I call him so many names, so we can call him that. The light's still outside, so we can't get that dark.
Well, it's actually getting dark for Blonde After Dark as it should be. Sean, welcome to Blonde After Dark. All right, this is Craig's hubby. They're so cute. I mean, they're adorable. Almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. We have a lot of nicknames for each other.
What do you call Craigers?
Be careful.
Pooh Bear, Sugar Bear, Schnookums, Sexy Bitch.
Yes.
He's like the little prince out of our group. I'm the more
Yeah.
naughtier type. He's the more like
He legit was a prince. So
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
legit.
you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. And this is perfect because we are going to play Ship or Dip. Okay. So we're going to talk about some Disney characters. Would you ship them? Get with it or not? This is just for fun.
I love it.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Aladdin.
Ooh, Aladdin.
Ship it or dip it?
Oh, I would definitely ship it because that magic carpet. Yes.
Sean?
I would say definitely ship it for sure.
Ship it.
Show me that world, baby.
Ship it all the way. Okay. Unanimous. I love this. What about,
Flynn Rider.
Oh, Flynn Rider.
Flynn Rider,
Ooh, from Tangled.
With a smolder.
Oh, hot AF. I'm shipping that.
dip for sure.
It's like also Zachary Levi I'm into, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably have to dip because he acts like he has better hair than I do. And that would be not a good situation for me because we know mine's perfect. So I don't know if I would want to compete. That would remind me definitely of one of my exes. So I would not be able to do that.
What about Gaston from Beauty and the Beast? You know he's a micro.
Yeah.
Like he's got nothing going on.
Definitely. That's why he has to work out so much.
Yeah.
How many eggs did he say? 8 a day? Like 12?
I'm going to dip on that. I think it would be bad.
Dipping.
Dip.
I'm going to ship it. I love a big burly man. Let's fuck it up.
What about, let's go a little King Triton from Little Mermaid.
Ooh, I love some water play.
I do like how he uses that shaft that he uses in the water pretty good. So, but I don't know.
I think it's called a
Tidal tyrant. What is it called?
Triton.
Triton.
Yes.
Well, there's a shaft somewhere in the water.
He
So
uses his shaft in the water.
you don't know what's under those scales.
He's old man sexy.
But he is definitely old man for sure.
Yeah, daddy status.
I'm going to ship.
Ooh. Prince Naveen.
Prince Naveen.
From where?
Princess and the Frog.
Oh,
Prince
God, I've
of
only seen that
Frog.
movie one time. So
I made
that'd be
him
more-
watch it in bed one night and he fell asleep, unfortunately.
Clearly,
So you're dipping
that's
it
not
'cause
working
he's
for
boring.
me.
Because you're bored. Ew. Okay. What about Jafar? What about someone evil? Jafar.
Ooh. I don't know if I really care for his look overall, but I like the angerness that comes out sometimes. And hey, if you're gonna seduce me with a snake, what was it called again? A triton?
I feel like tall, skinny men are always packing. Isn't that the truth?
for sure.
I
Yep.
feel like it is. It is the truth.
I dated this like 6'1", very skinny white boy this one time. Huge penis. Massive.
And okay, so we were talking about earlier penis sizes. It does matter to you, right, Sean?
It absolutely matters for sure. I mean, I don't want like a micro,
Yeah.
but I don't need a ginormous penis. I mean,
Like
it's
you're-
way too
yeah.
much to take. I don't need to be snorting that much poppers in one night.
See, it does matter. I love this. Who else do we have Disney character wise? Oh, Kristoff.
He's the
that's
sweetest.
sweetie. He's like friend zoned. I feel like
Because you're like, he's the one that you just we
Kristoff
talked
from
about
Frozen.
relationships. Of
Yeah.
like, he's the one that you're like, this is too perfect. Is something actually happening like this, or is
Yeah.
something being lied to?
That's a take home to mom situation right there.
Yeah.
I like it.
I guess I would ship it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So let me ask you guys, because you guys are so cute. What do you look for in relationships, and what are your deal breakers?
There's definitely some non-negotiables for sure.
Yeah.
I think goals are important, ambition, being there for each other, supporting each other, growing together. I think that's honestly for me the most important part. And Obviously a sexy ass bitch. I like eyes, teeth, and ass.
I love it. I love it.
I look for someone that's definitely got equal balance for sure, that you're able to equal out, because both of us were very different growing up. Obviously, I was Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
And
grew up on a farm.
I did.
Milking cows.
Literally.
Yeah.
Feeding the sheep, getting the eggs from the chicken. It's awkward. He wants me to wear chaps and a cowboy hat all the time.
Okay.
But then he grew up a little bit different. So kind of trying to equal out that all of us out is actually what makes it fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely grew up more in like the city life, something like more hustle and bustle, a little bit faster. Definitely a more progressive community. So
he was a hoe is what he's trying to say.
That was later in life.
Okay, do you ever agree with, we were talking about toxic relationships, like you kind of get used to the ride, if you will, but then when you get into a healthy relationship, at first it seems like not boring, but it seems a little like meh. But then you get used to it. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel safe. I feel peace. I love this.
Well, like you guys were talking about earlier, toxic relationships, you are like looking for like that satisfaction, that high that you keep chasing, but you never quite get what you want. So then you keep going and going. It's almost like it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And all your friends are like, run. And you're like, no, I love these red flags. Give me more.
You're making a scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But then once you find someone like Craig over here and you're like, oh, fuck, like this is how I'm supposed to be treated. Then you actually like build this like self-respect for yourself and you open up communication. And like you said earlier, it does become easy. And I never thought a relationship would be this easy because I didn't know better.
Right.
So it's nice to be able to find that.
I love that.
He's trying to get laid tonight. That's what he's trying to say right now.
No, have you guys ever? I want to play a little Never Have I Ever. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't have enough fingers, sweetie.
Okay. Never have I ever looked through a significant other's phone.
Absolutely, I have. He knows that.
Absolutely, for sure.
Have you guys looked through each other's?
No.
He's lying.
Have you looked through his?
I have not looked through his, no, but it does pop up a lot, and I'm just like, what? It's fine.
Haven't peeked, but you have looked through exes.
Oh, absolutely. And you find all kinds of things.
Yeah. Like, what did you find?
Well, the first place you always go to is deleted photos, everyone. Because
let's get some, I want to give some hot tips, okay? Because if you're like, everyone's like, if you're suspicious, you shouldn't be with that person. Okay, we know that. But sometimes you're just curious, like what they're up to. So you said go to deleted photos.
Because they're not going to stay in their photos, because who's going to do that? They're going to delete them, because what if they leave their phone open?
Yeah.
But deleted photos, most people are not as smart when they're trying to get rid of things, because they don't realize they also have to go to deleted photos to delete the archive photos as well.
That's
you got this down. This is I've been in so many toxic relationships. I know this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Another hot tip. Do you have any hot tips?
I think in past relationships, I have definitely gone through some photos or some Apple Watches for sure.
Yeah.
Going into this relationship, I have trust. I don't have to do that shit, which is awesome. It's so refreshing. But yeah, those deleted photos, they'll fuck your shit up. Delete on delete. I had a friend recently and her boyfriend went through her Apple Watch and it did not end well.
Really?
So
are they done? Did they split?
They split for a little bit. They're back together, thank God. Okay. But you make a mistake and she apologized for that shit and she fucked up, but they're back together. So
okay.
I don't know. I've been scandalous before. I made a separate Facebook or Instagram account.
Really? Tell me more about that.
I've even done that. I haven't done it with you yet. Maybe. But no, I've made a different account because you question them. Yeah. And then, of course, you make the photos very pretty.
Oh, so you kind of dangle the bait and
to
like
see
try
what
to
happens.
Flirt with them.
Oh, yeah. I've done that too.
Have they
sometimes they've grabbed the bait, like I figured they would.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they've been like, no, I'm in a committed relationship. And I'm like, that's a lie. Okay. But
that's good. What do you guys think about so I have a theory and people are like, oh, it's not like that. But I really think you cannot really, and I hate to say it, but when you're older and you're in a committed relationship, you're kind of your friends' fault. Like your friends fall to the wayside. Like my dude can't really he can have friends that are girls, obviously, but there has to be, it changes, right? Like, how do you guys feel about it?
Well, and obviously,
especially if they've hooked up with them before, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
Unfortunately, in the gay culture, you have all your exes over for dinner and parties because that's just how it is.
Even like, have you guys hooked up with the same person or like anything like that?
Well,
Actually,
funny that you say that.
It's interesting how we met, actually.
This is gonna be good.
Oh, is it though?
So when me and Craig first started talking, we met on Tinder and, hit it off. Everything was great, but he lived about an hour and a half away. So it just kind of like fell to the wayside. Nothing went bad, but just kind of took a back burner.
Right.
So then a few months later, I was dating this guy and we went out one night and we were at a gay club and he was like, hey, like, are you there? I was like, yeah, I'm here. Like, oh, and he was like, yeah, I have friends in town. I'm going to bring them out as well. I'm going to meet you there. I was like, okay, great. Walks in and he's with Craig. And I was like, oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know Craig? And he's like, wait, you know Craig? And I was like, yeah, we talked in the past. Like, I didn't know that you were friends with him. Well, deer in fucking headlights. Okay.
We were not friends.
Right.
We were also dating at the time. So
This guy's two-timing it.
both of us. He was dating
you.
both of us at the same time.
I was on the receiving end of this phone call.
Yes, I
Yep.
called a
Like,
lot.
He called me. He's like, Kins, we just had the most awkward thing. We walked into this place. His ex was there, and then they were talking, and then you kind of felt left out, and then you left.
Well, yeah, because I walked over and realized what was occurring because he had made a comment of like, just don't like give me a hug or anything like that because Sean just got out of a relationship and it's very sensitive to him and stuff like that. And that was a flag. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. If
So
anything
then-
feels off, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
of course, I did like a full on like stage dramatic presence of running out.
No, you dramatic.
As we do.
I was never dramatic, but I could have won an Oscar. And of course, I ran out, and then this individual stormed out after me to, tell me that I was the one. After 2 weeks, by the way, it was not. It was very dramatic. So then I left, but I also left with my friends, which one of them has potentially been my ex before too. So everyone was hanging out. I left, and then he stayed with Sean.
Okay.
Yep. And then it was actually my birthday weekend. So he ended up coming back to my house. And at one point he was like, hey, I have to make a phone call. I was like, yeah, I have a bunch of people over. It's loud in here. Like, take yourself outside. Like, not a big deal. 20 minutes goes by. I don't know where he's at. I go outside. I'm like, and I peek around the cars because obviously there's cars everywhere. And I go around and I hear him on the phone. And he's like, no, babe, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with Sean.
And
I
he was
lost.
talking to
He was
Craig.
talking
He was talking to
me.
Craig. So I lost my fucking shit.
Yeah.
I might have lightly pushed him. And then I took his shit, threw it out my front door. And I said, don't ever fucking come back here.
Wow. So you were done.
I was done. I'm
And
not
then
putting
what
up
was he
with that.
telling you?
Well, then he wanted to be together still with me. So then
By the way, this guy is really bad in bed.
he is
Craig,
Oh, God,
they
it was
actually
awful.
so
both-
little.
They
So-
both
Awful.
said this poor dude.
It's awful. It is so
That's
bad.
a side note. Okay, continue.
But no, after that, we chatted for like another week, but it just fizzled out. And that is what happened. He then told me that he was going overseas to see a friend, but wanted to let me know
this.
that the truth was he couldn't be in a relationship right now because he was going to have a threesome with a group overseas, but then he'd be back and we'd talk
In
again.
Germany, right?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
this conversation. He was like, Kinsey, is this a red flag? I was like, oh yeah, he can't commit to you because he has a pre-planned threesome in Germany happening.
And it was
Yeah,
like a month
Craig.
away. So,
Definitely red
Yeah,
flag. Run.
Exactly. I mean, a premeditated, planned threesome out of the country. He's like
Yeah.
putting on the back burner.
Yeah.
But it brought you guys together.
Exactly.
Like a
Things
week
happen for
later.
a reason.
Now,
so
do you see this man ever? Do you see this guy?
so
That was two-timing you.
he lives in the same neighborhood as us. So we actually do see him. And
I see him quite often. Actually.
yes. And he's reached out and he's like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like,
Oh, he apologized.
he absolutely did. Yeah.
Okay,
He was like,
that's
if you guys ever
good.
want to hang out, like I'd be open to that. And I'm like, no, we're good. I'm not really there yet. But you know what? The good comes out of the bad. And
Yes.
I always try to look on the positive side. So fuck him. We have this great relationship. So
I bet he kills him to see you guys together and happy though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Bless his little heart.
And his little dick.
Yeah.
He can't help it's tiny.
Yeah.
There's always a fun size for someone. A midget.
Best story ever. Well, I've seen such positive changes in Craigers. Not that there was anything wrong, but like I just can tell you're such a good influence on him. And that's when you know it's like a healthy relationship, right?
Absolutely.
And one of those is that Craig and I share this we like lavish things, But we have traded our lifestyle. Now we are babes on a budget. And in big part, I think this has to do with Sean.
We do.
Craig getting his shit together.
We do try.
We try. And I'm the same way. So I want to give like some tips because I have lots of girls and women that follow me and I love you so much. Again, follow, we'll give all of our social handles. You'll see those, but at Blonde After Dark. But I want to give some tips for being a babe on a budget because times are tough. People are outside waving us. Times are tough. And you can still be a hot babe, but on a budget. So let's give so how have you like changed some ways to keep it tight? Because nothing is sexier to me than like someone who's got their shit together.
Correct. And we've actually gotten better because when we first met, we were spinning.
Game on, yeah.
It was everywhere. It was dinner out every night. We didn't cook very much, so it was like Uber Eats would always be at the house.
I actually, you'll be very proud of me. I just canceled my Dash Pass because I used to DoorDash, as Craig knows, 2 or 3 times a day. Because
she would
busy.
DoorDash a smoothie
every morning.
every morning.
Bougie bitch, yes.
But it would be a smoothie from 3 blocks down.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was terrible. I just had no time, but I canceled I haven't done it since December.
That's nice.
I have not. So anyway,
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we would spend gobs of money, and because we felt like we needed to, so we felt like we always had to go out. We had to go on trips and stuff like that. So, and even before Sean, I was all about it did not matter cash wise. Let's spend it. Well, we make it. Blah blah blah.
We'll figure it out later, type of thing. And then you look at your credit card statement, and you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
Actually, I always have the moment. I'm like, oh my god, who stole my credit card? And it's my
It's
own.
me.
Mine was always online purchases. That was my big thing because I would make it and realize I made it by accident or I still wanted it. Yeah. And then like 2 days later, I look at my bank account and I was like, why is there $100 being taken out by Amazon?
Yeah.
I bought like every shade of Ariana Grande's lip plump gloss or whatever one night, and I was like, why did I do this?
Yeah. And Craig has an addiction to underwear. So he will spend tons of money on underwear. He probably has like 50 pairs of underwear at the house, I promise you, minimum. So we've worked on that.
That's really good.
I'm only buying a pair a week now.
Yeah.
That's good because you just do what you do, but like minimize it down.
Yeah. And I think like kind of like what happened was like we realized like at the beginning it was fun and we were like, yeah, like we can do this. Like let's go out every night and do whatever and be social. And then it got to a point where we're like, wait, we want to enjoy each other's company a little bit more.
Yes.
And then we started looking at our bank accounts and we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like this is aggressive at this point.
Yeah.
So we talked about it and we were like, hey, like let's commit to like Monday through Thursday. We're going to stay home. We're going to cook. And we're just going to like do the grocery situation, utilize Costco and stuff like that. And then Thursday, like maybe Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
But we try to balance it, but not also cut everything off because I know myself and I like to treat myself. So, we still like the nicer things in life. So we'll definitely do that. But there's a balance to it.
There's a balance to it. I love that.
Well, I think the big thing is budgeting wise is what are you budgeting with and what are you budgeting on? Okay. I know for you, McKinzie, one of the big things that we love now is traveling.
Yes.
We love taking trips.
Yes. I'm really more into like, instead of things, I have too many, like I have a whole wardrobe of like TV clothes and all these, and I love fashion. I do. But I also, now I'm all about experiences. Like I would much rather go on a trip than like, buy more dresses or whatever.
Well, and that's for me. I had to get used to because obviously I lived by myself and I had a huge thing with buying clothing and shoes and stuff like that. I had like 3 closets when I moved back to Florida. And I moved in with Sean. So we only had 2 closets technically, a walk-in and So that I had to get used to that. And he had to get used to a small portion of his closet. Yeah. So, but the big thing was I learned that I didn't have to have all of that stuff. Because I had plenty of it already that half of it still had tags on it.
Yeah, seriously.
That I was not even using. So it was that impression of enjoying what actually life is supposed to be giving you and the reality of life and adventures instead of the material things.
Absolutely. And when we look at like the real ballers in life, they're so simple. It's like simplistic, chic. They're not like decked out and all this stuff, and which I love.
Well, my big thing is always if you have to nonstop buy things and nonstop show it off, that's just because you want someone to accept you and you're not accepting yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. And no, I've learned like, okay, I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but I swear every single time my products all run out at once. Like my serums, my lotions, and I'm like, ugh, because they're also. So I was gonna say, you guys, this is a great trick. If you need to carry it over a few days, or you're like, oh, just get samples. Like people are so happy to give you samples. If
Love
you're like,
that.
oh, I just want to try like this vitamin C. And then you can like wait a week or something like that. And if they give you the little samples, don't like squeeze and poke a hole in it with like your tweezers or something. And then you can get more out. If you want to buy like a lavish eye cream, but you're like, oh man, I need to wait like till I get paid or whatever, just get samples. I'm telling you, it's like a game changer.
Seriously, like I'm a product whore.
Yeah, and I am.
You know, so like I love the good products. Like I love some skincare. That is my shit.
Go medical grade. I'm telling you, it's just
Life
worth
changing.
it. Yes,
it really is. But absolutely, my esthetician will be like, hey, like let's try this out. Give me a sample, and then down the line we'll like order the full vial or whatever it may
like
be.
a lot of times you're like, I don't want to drop $350 right now on a serum, so you got to just space it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, future episodes of Blonde After Dark. What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to dish on? And of course, hit us up at Blonde After Dark. We want to know what you want to talk to. What do you want to get into? We have some killer guests coming up.
Yes.
But what would you guys like to?
I love the
dish on
good
more?
spice. A
Yeah.
lot of spiciness brought into it. That's one of my things for sure.
Yes.
Talk about the real stuff that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's get into like fucking fetishes. I think it's a topic. I think a lot of people are into some weird shit. However you define weird.
Okay, I have to talk about this. Some guys
Okay.
wanted to buy my panties.
Oh,
And
yes.
I was like, absolutely not. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, all right.
sell it
Why
away,
not?
honey.
I'm into it. People are into different things and you might not be into it, but you know what? They are, and like be open-minded to it.
So was $500 too much to ask?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God,
Did you
no.
sign it?
No, but I was like, should I just throw that out there? I haven't responded.
Oh, one of my friends sells her used socks. It sounds so
Really?
gross, but she sells it and she makes a fortune on that stuff. But people will write and say, okay, you have to show me the actual photo of you wearing it. And they want it to be not cleaned, so it still has that smell to it. And she makes a fortune on that stuff. Hey, if you're into it, go for it.
At first I'm like, ew, no. But then I'm like, when you really think about it, if someone like, the feet people, they're always out there that just like obsessed the fetishes with your feet. And they always want pictures of your feet. I'm like, I mean, it's really not that crazy, right?
Yeah, no, it's all over the place. My friend actually used to sell her like used heels.
Really?
And she'd fucking make bank off of that
McKinzie,
shit.
you might want to look into that.
I've
seen that closet.
Well, that's like the whole thing about OnlyFans. Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone is like, it's such a thing because there's like, I know a single mom. She was like, okay, everyone hates me now and judges me, but she went and she was like tired of struggling to pay her rent.
Yeah.
She goes on there. She made bank in like 2 or 3 days. But then it's kind of like, I don't know, there is no real going back, if you will, in the professional world. So I feel like, I don't like the Cash Me Outside girl had like what blockers on OnlyFans. And we were talking about this and like I don't know, but you just, what do you guys think about this? Like Carmen Electra turned 50. I mean, she looks fabulous, but she's like, I really want to get closer with my fans, which you all know the girl needs some cash. So that's fine. She goes on OnlyFans. What do you guys think about OnlyFans?
I don't know. Like, hey, it's not for me because that's just a lot of upkeep. But but no,
24/7.
I have a lot of friends that are actually involved in it. And here's my thing though, is they're in their 20s and 30s. So they're fit, they're pretty, and they make a ton of money, like for sure doing it. But we've chatted before and I said, well, what are you doing next? And they were like, what do you mean? And I said, what are you doing after your OnlyFans?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't know. I got so used to this lifestyle now because literally all I gotta do is post a few photos or videos.
Now, do you have to go raunch on it? Like, do you have to like show?
To get
I mean, some people do. I have a few friends that are doing it, and they pretty much started doing it during COVID. Like they were unemployed. They were like, fuck, I need to make some money right now.
Yeah.
I'm gorgeous. Like, let's do it. And I fully support it. If you're happy, I'm happy. So, they did it. They made a ton of fucking money. They're traveling. They're doing their things. Some of my friends, they've gotten out of it. They've kind of moved into a different direction. They're like, I'm going to be more into a quote unquote professional career now.
Yeah.
But then some of my friends are like, this is my fucking life now. And I love it. Yeah. And maybe they're sex addicts or whatever, but they love it and it works.
I mean, I think it's different. It's just so hard. It's like when you have kids and when it's like different. I think if you're like just single, like I just don't care.
Also, the world's different now too. So people look at things a lot different. Like obviously, if I had an OnlyFans, which I do not, mother, I do not have an OnlyFans. But I don't know how well my community, where I came from, would accept it because I grew up in like a small 1,500 people town.
Yes.
Where someone that grows up in a big city or something like that, that's a common thing.
Yeah.
So people see it. Oh, great. There's my kid, you know?
Yeah.
So I know one of my friends who's a mother, her son has one and she's fully supported it because, because he paid his way through medical school.
Okay.
So
well,
there you go. That's amazing right there.
That's the hard thing. It's like, what do you do? Because the money's so good, but it's also like, oh, do you cross that line? If you
now it's everyone knows what Dr. has. So,
oh my God. Do you have any guesses? I want to look up like the top earners on OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
I can only imagine what they make.
Well, who do you think it is?
I have no idea, but if I see their bank account, I might have to do it.
I mean, I would assume like porn stars would be probably banking in the most because they already have the following.
On OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Like, have you guys looked at anyone? Have you ever been there?
I have not.
Of course, I subscribe to like 3 people.
You do? Actually, they come in there. Okay, so Black China.
I don't pay over $9.99.
Black
China coming at number 1 with $20 million. If you don't know who she is,
Holy
she's like
shit.
a baby mama to Rob Kardashian's child. Also Tyga. They have a baby, right? So, yeah, I mean, she's killing it. Then we got Bella Thorne, 11 million.
Wow.
Cardi B, 9.43 million.
Damn.
And then Tyga, speaking of, 7.69 million. I mean, it's really interesting.
But I guess for me, though, it's like, how do you, like, you got to get the following, though, too.
For people to do it.
Yeah. So what do you have to do to get that following? That might be a great thing to talk about in the next episode, too, is what do you have to do to get that following? Or where do you have to live? Or who do you have to tag? Or
Yeah. I mean,
what do you
I
have
think
to do?
A lot of my friends who started doing it, when they started getting a little bit bigger, they would, DM porn stars and they'd be like, hey, like, let's partner and let's do like some joined collaborations.
Right.
And that's when they took off.
I think there's something, it's really interesting though, because like when people hit me up or kind of have little crushes, which is so cute, I think it's the like good girl, because it's like, I mean, you can see a porn star like, spread their legs at any time or like in a thong or something like that. But there is this challenge, I guess, that comes with
the
like
girl
a woman.
next door.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like men have a little, and women too, have a little.
I remember
fetish
that.
for that.
They would even DM me for me to ask McKinzie, hey, can you get McKinzie to talk to me or send me a video?
That's like so
I'd be like,
sweet.
Sweetie.
Sweetie.
Aw.
Sweetie.
My bless your heart.
Okay, bless your heart. That's a Southern way of saying.
Fuck you.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us for this premiere episode of
Dun, dun,
Blonde
dun.
After Dark. You can follow us at Blonde After Dark, blondeafterdark.com. This is going to be so much
It's
fun.
going to blow up.
Yeah.
I
We're
love
having a
it.
blast. Like every week we'll be dropping Thursday night at midnight. You don't want to miss it. Hot merch coming. Hot ass merch. You guys are going to love. You
I'm
can get your
into
hands
it.
on it.
She better have underwear because I need to buy it.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are amazing. And until next time, stay bad.